Hey guys, it must be Thursday because it is time for Dave's Taking 20 or 20-minute take or whatever the heck it's going to wind up being called in a week or two. This week, as you can tell, I'm doing Destiny because everybody's doing Destiny and this game's a lot of fun. Or at least I think it is. There are some people who don't, but whatever. So, oh, forgot to adjust my camera and stuff. I'm sorry. There we go. That's a little better. Um, so, here we go. I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna make a new character, but then I'm gonna jump into my character whenever we get to that point. I'm just gonna kind of show off like the customization options and things like that. Or it's gonna throw me right back at my character. The problem I've had with this game, and it's not even Bungie's fault. It's my internet being dumb and not wanting to work. So if you have dumb internet like I have, just remember that it's gonna kick you off probably. So far, I've made two characters. I've made my EXO, which is the character I've played the most. He's my Titan. If he loads ever, Bueller. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a new character here. I'm going to show off three classes. So you have your Titans, which are heavily armored. There's no weapon restrictions for any of the characters. So what defines them is how much armor they have, and their special abilities and the kind of grenades they have. So as you can see, the description for a Titan, you're an armored engine of war. You control any battle with strength and strategy. And the super that you start with, or special move, or whatever the heck they want to call it, basically just has you do your best Hulk smash, and you do like an arc around you, and a lot of stuff explodes. I haven't gotten to level 15, so I don't know what the defender ability does. It looks like it just makes a shield to protect you and your allies, which is good because there's a lot of bosses where you just get beat up. And the Hulk smash ability, as I like to call it, doesn't really do you any good when it comes to like strike bosses because they're all really big and you're not really wanting to be that close to them anyway. Your hunter, you excel at taking out things from a distance, and your two special abilities, gunslinger, you basically get like a really souped up revolver, and you get like 5 or 6 shots out of that, and it blows the crap out of things. And then there's blade dancer, which puts you into a third person view, and as you hit your melee button, your guy kind of just like jumps around and has a shield so that you can just slice up a bunch of dudes and do a bunch of damage to them that way. And then you have your warlock, which is the character that I think I'm gonna make third or second. So I'm gonna make a hunter when we get that far. But your warlocks, you throw like a big ball of stuff on the ground, and it blows up, and it takes a bunch of guys with it. I don't know if there's some sort of like dramatically increasing effectiveness or like this. So I guess the Sunsinger is more of a melee focused one because it like powers up your like your punch and your grenades and things like that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to make a hunter class. So each race, there's only 3 races. You have human, which because this takes place in our solar system, you're going to have humans. You have the awoken, which I want to say they're humans that have been out in the distant, like out in space for so long that they're like not as human as they were when they left. Like that race of people has changed. And then you have the EXO, which are cyborg people, basically. So I'm gonna make I'm gonna make an awoken female hunter. So each race gender combination has a handful of faces you can choose from. And then they all have like a nice little color palette for skin tone and like lip color, and then eye color as well. And then you have a decent amount of hair. I think there are a couple of unique hairstyles per race, but a lot of this looks like the stuff you can get on the humans. And then of course you can change the color to whatever the heck you want, so you can have crazy blue hair. And then you have markings. Again, some of these are unique to this race. Some of these are across the humans as well. And the exos, like if I change the race to exo, you can see they're all just crazy robots, and their markings are different, like add-ons for the head. Their faces are, different robot faces, things like that. So I like to think that I like to say that while it's not Elder Scrolls deep, it's a pretty decent character creator. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna jump into my Titan here. So the game starts just like it did in the beta. So if you played the beta, you've played all of all of the first zone basically, because Earth is still there. All that stuff is the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the tower, and then I'm going to figure out what to do from there. So all of the beta content was just Earth and like the first 2 moon missions, which I didn't actually get into. I was unable to play once they unlocked the moon. So after you beat the Earth missions, you are then free to like see all the new stuff. So if you've already done it, it's not really going to be any new stuff for you. You're more than, the game doesn't care. You're more than welcome to run around on Earth until you're like level 15 or something, doing strikes, doing explore mode, and doing like public events and things like that. But unlocking the new zones gives you new areas to run around in, new side quests to take on, things like that. The only real difference I've noticed between Earth on beta and Earth in the live game is I think the experience gain has been reduced a little bit. It seems like you could hit 8 before you finished, like you could hit the level cap in the beta before you finished all the quests on Earth, and I wound up hitting the level 6 by the time I finished all the quests on Earth. Now maybe that's because I wasn't doing as much explore mode. Maybe that's because I was, a little bit more like I didn't to backtrack as much. I didn't have to backtrack as much, things like that. But so it seems like they lower the experience gain as far as the first zone a little bit between beta and live. So here's Tower. This is pretty much where this is your hub. You have your banks right here. You can store stuff. The postmaster. Every time you open up a new zone, like I've just opened up Venus and all that, so this bounty lead will allow me to do certain things on Venus. Unfortunately, in order to pick it up, you have to have space in your inventory for your bounties, which I currently do not. However, the bounties have changed a little bit, or they have added more types of bounties, it seems like to me, since they did in the alpha and the beta. So like you get ones that are like achieve gold tier ratings in 3 public events, or kill 10. This one was in the beta, right? Like the kill 10 hive ultras or majors. The target Fogoth, this is like, oh, go do this strike, finish this strike, and we'll give you this extra bump in experience. The get X thousand experience without dying, that was in the beta, I believe. And the kill 3 or more enemies with a single super use 20 times, I don't think those were. I didn't get one, but I only played for like a couple of days. So, and then they also have bounties for, the bounty guy is the same as he was in the beta. He has Vanguard bounties, which are essentially just PvE bounties. And then they have PvP bounties, which are like, kill 10 Titans in the Crucible, or defeat 10 Guardians with your melee attack, or, complete 5 matches for this mode versus this other mode. Gunslinger medals. So the bounties are just, they're basically quests. They're like, go get me 10 of these boondoggles, or go do this stuff, and we'll give you a nice big fat chunk of experience. You still have your gunsmith, you still have the cryptarch, which I think I have something I need to have unencrypted here. The cryptarch will take your like random green unencrypted items, which are usually just like random greens, except sometimes they're random whites, and that really bums me out. So you have your character sheet. Your character sheet's pretty much the same as it was in the beta. A lot of this is going to be, if you played the beta, none of this is going to surprise you. If you didn't play the beta, I'm just going to try to do a quick overview of all this stuff. So, here's your paper doll, basically. this weapon has this stat with this, you know, special ability here at the bottom that you unlock after so long. You know, and then you have your secondary weapons, your sniper rifles and fusion rifles and things like that. And then you have your heavy machine guns, your heavy weapons, which are like rocket launchers and heavy machine guns. Your primary weapons are like automatic rifles, so just hold it down and pray and spray. Scout rifles, which are like single shot, high precision but low magazine count rifles. Hand cannons, which are pretty much just revolvers. You know, really low magazine size but very high accuracy and very high damage compared to, say, a machine gun. I don't have any, but you can also get shotguns, or not shotguns. What are they called? Pulse rifles, which are like, they're basically in burst mode. So you know, scope in and it's like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. And you know, as your armor fills out with special abilities, you know, you have all these different stats. You have intellect, which decreases the amount of time it takes for your special ability to come back. That's the same across, like that. The effects of these 3 stats are the same across all 3 classes. So int will always make your class ability come back faster. Discipline will always allow your grenades to respawn faster, and strength will always allow your special melee hit to respawn faster. So with that, like, I don't want to run around the whole thing because I'm trying to keep this under 20 minutes. So we're gonna go back to orbit. Going back to orbit is like the only way you can basically jump from, you know, where you are to the next place you want to go. I'm gonna show off some of the Venus stuff because I think that kind of has gotten left out of a lot of people's stuff. And if you've played the beta, you've seen Earth. If you've seen a lot of footage, you've seen Earth, you've seen the moon. You may not have seen a lot of Venus. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go to Venus. I'm just gonna go into explore mode. I don't want to ruin any story bits for anybody. You know, if that's what you want, you can probably go on Twitch and watch somebody play the stream or the story mode. The Crucible is where all the PvP stuff happens. I'm really terrible at PvP, so I don't really want to show that. But just, you know, for your information, there are 6 PvP modes. 4 of them are available all the time. What they're calling Control is like domination from Unreal. So you basically take a point. It's like a capture and hold type of thing. There's Skirmish, which is straight up deathmatch. There's Rumble, which I believe is the
this time we can go wherever we want.
Is point based. So depending on how
Guardians
like how you get your abilities,
back to the tower. We find them, we can help the city.
You can get holy crap! I'm trying to focus and talk at the same time. This is hard. So Rumble takes whoever has the highest score at the end, and it's not based solely on like kill-death ratio. It's based off of things like, you know, oh, you got an assist, or oh, you got a triple kill, or, you know, you used your grenade to kill this guy versus, you know, gunning him down, or, you know, you get extra points for using melee abilities and things like that. Wow. Venus is a little bit more not molten than I kind of expected. Although I've been here a little bit. Let's see. So you still get your little sparrow. It runs almost exactly like the vulture in Halo. Big surprise. I got this one. This one's like blue and green, or blue and yellow. I got it out of one of the golden chests, which was kind of what I was looking for.
Dead orbit needs some help.
So these are the what are these? These are like the little beacon missions. They're not as plentiful as they're not as efficient to use as bounties, but you get more of them in a zone. I think they're repeatable. So once you get so far away, oh, I went the wrong way. Once you get out of this area, if you've completed the one that you had signed into, basically, you can get another one in like 10 or 15 minutes. So these range from, come to this spot and stand here and we're going to do a scan, or you let your little ghost dude out and he'll do a scan, to kill 10 of these enemies or 15 of these enemies, or bring me 10 of these little space boondoggles, and you'll get what you're looking for. Usually it's just Vanguard reputation, which is a big deal because if you're going to do like PvP or PvE content, that's the kind of stuff that you really need to like get up, because you'll need to use that to buy higher level armor at once you hit level 20. Now I haven't gotten any really awesome gear. I've gotten a bunch of greens and I've gotten a bunch of white items. So the color of the item is much the same way as like the Blizzard way of you know, giving you item quality. Blue items will have more level up, like more special things you can spec your item into, basically. A green will only have usually 1 or 2. And the purple ones give you like, I don't know, 7 or 8. Different things that you know your weapon will level up into. So like I got this upgrade unlocked. Oh crap! I probably don't want to die here. Oh shit! That guy's behind me too. Wow! I just like ran into the worst possible place to do stuff here. I'm gonna die. I'm so gonna die. So gonna die. Oh, it's not ready. I thought my super was ready. No, that's a grenade. Yeah, I'm a little out leveled by these guys. That and they surrounded the crap out of me. I don't have any. Oh, that's why, because there's a Reaver Captain. So there is a good way to tell the differences between like a regular enemy and a special enemy. The special enemies have yellow nameplates versus a red nameplate. Yeah. Let's see. Talked about PvP, talked about the stuff. So it's kind of hard to talk about a lot of this stuff in such a short period. And I know I'm putting the restriction on myself, but I just want to like kind of give you a decent overview. So when your weapon gets an upgrade or whatever, you then have to pay Glimmer, which is basically money, to unlock that upgrade. But so now, the more I fire this gun, the more I fire it in a burst, the more accurate it becomes. So that's kind of cool. Like they took some of the stuff that Borderlands did really well with the random, you know, the procedurally generated loot, and you know, kind of refined it a little bit, so you don't just get all that stuff at once, and it makes you actually want to use a weapon for a decent amount of time. So like this sniper rifle, I have, I think, a secondary scope on it that gives me, or no, this sniper rifle, I have a secondary scope that gives me a lot more range, but it's not as useful like if I'm kind of up close or I'm at a medium range. And you also get stuff like if the final round in the magazine is what kills a monster, you then get your stuff back. So I really like a lot of that stuff, and the way that your characters level up, you know, aren't necessarily based on experience gained. They're more based around just time played and whatnot. So sometimes you get stuff that's just like, here's some straight up, you know, stat bonuses, or it'll change the way your grenades work. So instead of having the flashbang grenade, I get a pulse grenade, so it like sticks to a wall and pulses out. You also, you know, get changes to the way that your double jump works. So every class has a double jump type of mechanic. It's not necessarily a straight up double jump or a jetpack or things like that, but it allows you to cover a little bit more terrain than you would have normally. Is this a chest? Oh yeah, there are random chests in the world, so that's always fun. The biggest complaint I have with this game is if Bungie wanted this game to be such a large open game where you explore and you meet new people and you hang out and things like that, I think they should have an option. They should have an option to turn on either proximity chat or open chat for, you know, your clan or for whatever, or in your like fire teams for when you do like strikes and things like that, because that would make those so much easier to coordinate and things like that. And you know, there's a petition on like change.org that's like, oh, give Destiny you know, proximity chat and whatnot. And I'm like, you know, I understand why they did it, and I understand the rationale behind it, and you know, I'm cool with it to a degree, but it really hampers, like, it really kind of hampers the way that you can actually play this game. because the way that this game is supposed to have been, that it has been billed, it is not. Like, I've not actually been in a fire team with anybody and been on voice chat with them. And I've put probably 6 or 7 hours in this game. You know, and it's not for lack of trying, right? Like, I sent a guy a thing, and he didn't take it, whatever. I think if they implement the option to turn that on, not necessarily on by default. I get the off by default thing because you have jerks on the internet. We talked about it on Sunday. You know, jerks on the internet are a very real problem, and it is totally a legitimate reason for having it off by default. But if you gave us the option to turn it on, and then we could just, you know, block players, that would be the best thing, I think. You know, it's... Shit, I hit my 20 minutes already. Damn. So, you know, this is... I've been Dave, and this has been my 20-minute take on Destiny. The 2-second take is, you should probably go buy this game if you're a fan of Bungie and of first-person shooters or of, like, MMO-style games on consoles. I think they've done a really good job creating the world and giving you a decent amount of stuff to do. I'm a little worried that, you know, there is an alarming number of people who have already hit the actual experience cap, and then there's a hard experience cap that's like 25 or 30. And the game's only been out for 2 days. But, you know, they powered through it, and that's how they want to play the game, and that's how they're playing the game. You know, more power to them. Play the way you want to play. But, you know, I think this game is definitely worth your money, and it definitely kind of feels like a next-gen game. I just wish the voice chat was on by default, and then you can choose to turn off different channels, or to turn off, you know, just to mute people who are abusing the crap out of it. So, thank you for watching. This has been, you know, Dave's Take in 20 for Destiny. Hopefully you got some information out of this that you didn't have before. I'll see you guys next week, and I'll see you on Sunday for part 2 of our Gamersgate and You. See you guys later.